Good morning, you strange and wonderful weirdos. I'm John.
And I'm Stacey.
It's Thursday, October 6th, and here's why today is strange.
All right, so let's start off with some UAPs over the Ukraine.
UAPs over the Ukraine.
Yes. Now, I have to give you a little backstory on this story because our story leads us to Mr. Avi Loeb.
Avi Loeb.
Yes, we know.
You're saying all my buzzwords today. That's how I like to start my Thursdays off.
He's the guy about the UAP.
He's the little guy about a little UAP.
So,
it's a little Harvard-y.
A while back, some astronomers in the Ukraine published a study about some unidentified aerial phenomenon that they supposedly had detected.
It's called missiles.
Over the Ukraine. Now, in that particular study, they claimed that they had a special observation technique for detecting and evaluating UAP characteristics, and they were able to break down their findings into two categories, cosmics and phantoms. Cosmics are very bright, phantoms are very dark. Now, this study caused a significant stir online. And enter Mr. Avi Loeb. Now, he just
hangs out in the bushes waiting for moments like this.
On his blog, he was writing about this, and he said that he had a lot of people ask him, are you going to look into these UAPs, the ones for Ukraine? And he hadn't really thought about it, and he didn't really look at the study. But then he said he received a special request from a high-level, from a high-level official in the U.S. government to summarize what his thoughts were on this whole UAP phenomenon over the Ukraine. So he took a look at the study because he couldn't say no,
right?
After that. And he claims that he just looked at the phantoms. Okay, right. We're just looking at the phantoms now. They claimed that they were 3 to 12 meters in size, and that they had speeds up to 15 kilometers per second and a distance of 10 to 12 kilometers. Now, he said that if that was real, if all those measurements are real and true and accurate, that there's no way that that could be anything man-made, that we made. That anything that came as fast through the atmosphere at that distance would cause an emission, would cause a light.
Yes.
There would be something that you would see. So there's no way these could be phantoms and completely dark. Now, his opinion is that maybe they miscalculated some of the distances. And in fact, there was some controversy in the Ukraine because when they did the study, they said that they were part of the main astronomical observatory of the National Academy of Sciences of Ukraine. So a few weeks after the study came out, the main astronomical observatory of the National Academy of Sciences of Ukraine decided they were going to have a symposium about it. I mean, it caused that much of a stir to talk about the validity.
They've got time for these things.
They do. To talk about the validity of what they saw. And they decided on their own that the study was not done scientifically enough, that they didn't use proper scientific techniques, and that they didn't offer other viewpoints of what it could be.
They didn't sneak up on it.
Right. And so they let the study stay up, but they were like, you have to take our name off of that. You have to say that you did this independently and that it wasn't us.
Kind of like us giving them guns.
Now, there were a lot of stories.
You can't say these came from us.
We just file that U.S. thing.
Lee
right
Greenwood, quit the singing. As he unloads guns.
So, there have been a lot of reports of UAPs over Ukraine, especially during...
Yeah, it's been a lot. I mean...
Lots from just regular people.
I mean, Reddit has been on fire with such things. Of course, if Reddit was always to be believed, we'd be in a lot of trouble.
Wow.
But
yes.
There has been a lot of reports. A lot of the UFO sites, a lot of the UFO Twitter has had a lot of reports of, the Ukrainian UFOs, UAPs. And the thing is, smoke, fire, they know each other.
Right. Well, that was my thought too. Like, if it really was just that inaccurate, why not just take it down? Why the symposium? Why the government asking?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like
Avi Loeb to look into it.
They don't have something else to worry about.
Right. Other things to do.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's pretty crazy. Avi Loeb, wasn't he the Harvard professor that discovered you.
Oumuamua. Well, he's the one that said that it was alien technology.
Right.
Yes, and he's written books, and that's why they go to him now. I guess he's the go-to guy.
He's the only guy that could say it.
He's part of the Galileo
It was
project.
actually some guy from community college that found it, but he got up on the podium and like, Mr. Johnson, what was it you found? The rock is excuse me, sir. Right. And Avi Loeb's kind of like,
It's Hawaiian.
yeah. And he took it over from there. That's just my opinion, obviously.
Yes. So let's move on. And while we're talking about UAPs, let's talk about a survey that they did about how many Americans believe in aliens and when we're going to make contact. You know, they do these surveys every few years to find out what the belief level is. So what do you think? Do you think the belief level's gone up or down?
Oh my God. So I would say the last one of these that I remember seeing, it was around a good split. It was a 50-50 type thing.
Right.
And that was high because it used to be I was excited about seeing 25.
Right.
I would say 63%.
Well, sort of. Though they've broke it down into believe, they don't know, or they think it's a natural scientific explanation. So the current poll that they've done, and the question was, do you believe that UFOs are probably alien ships or alien life forms, or that they have a natural scientific explanation? That was the exact question. So in 1996, way back in 1996, only 20% of the people believed that it was aliens. Now in 2022, that's all the way up to 34%.
Wow.
Which is quite a big jump. But what I think is the most telling is back in 1996, 51% of the people thought it was something natural and scientific. And that's all the way down to 32%.
Did they ask, do you trust your government?
They did not ask that. I think they steered away from
But that one
question.
changed percentages as well.
Yes. And they also asked how likely they thought it was that we would make contact with aliens in the next however many years, 10 years, 50 years. I don't think it's good at all. No.
Nobody asked you, Book Book.
So we only have about 19% of the people that think it'll either definitely or probably happen in the next 10 years. And I think that 10 years is like sort of what the standard has been, hasn't it?
We have
10
a lot
to 20
of
years, something like that.
indecisive people, though.
We do. Well, they even asked like 200 years. Do you think in 200 years?
Definitely maybe is probably a category.
Definitely maybe, yeah. And here's my favorite part of the survey. They said, how likely do you think it is that each of the following beings exist other than aliens? Like they have the aliens, right? So then they have Bigfoot. How likely do you think? And I'm just going to give you the definitely. Only 8% of people definitely think Bigfoot exists. Oh. And then they said the Yeti as a separate thing, which is weird because the Yeti is a big, like if you believe in Bigfoot, don't you believe in Yeti?
Maybe you're just a Himalayan kind of guy.
Maybe. That's only 6% though. Not as many people believe in the Yeti. Loch Ness Monster.
Really? Not as many people believe in Yeti as Bigfoot?
Bigfoot, right. Since Yeti's 6%, yeah, Bigfoot's 8%.
I think there's more credible sightings for Yeti. Go ahead.
It's more likely that it's up there in the mountains in the cold, don't you think? Loch Ness Monster, 5%, and Chupacabra, 4%.
Wow.
Yes. So, but honestly, a lot of people don't know.
What about misidentified dog?
Yeah, dog with the mange.
Yeah.
There's a huge gap of people that just claim they don't know. Like they're not saying natural.
They probably really don't
scientific.
know. There's a lot of droolers out there. No.
All right, so let's move on and let's talk about the story from London. This is about a very posh restaurant in London. Yes, they don't talk like that at a posh restaurant.
Oh, no.
No. So this posh restaurant that's opening very soon called Bacchanalia. That's the name of the...
Sounds like something you get in the Outback.
No, yeah, Bacchanalia is actually a name of a festival for Bacchus, which kind of translates to drunken revelry.
Yeah.
That's the name of the restaurant,
right.
Drunken Revelry. They have put out an ad and hired the first grape feeder. They've hired a person specifically to feed grapes to the people dining at the restaurants.
Glad you finished that sentence. You don't want to feed the grapes. They turn into terrible things.
I believe the qualifications were that you had gorgeous hands.
And Gone with the Wind fan, I take it.
Basic grasp
Tell me a grape.
Greek and Latin. and that the perks included.
Wait, you got to know Greek and Latin?
Yeah, because it's like a Greek and like Italian kind of restaurant. Like they're thinking like
Posh people don't just happen to know Latin.
full on Greek with the grapes, and you like,
Sounds very satanic.
It does. And that the perks are you get regular manicures and the finest food and wine. Now, the gentleman that owns this restaurant,
Mephisto W. Devil.
Get this, the man that owns this restaurant owns another posh kind of upscale restaurant called Balthazar. And one called Sexy Fish.
Well.
But I did look up a picture of this gentleman. Yeah, I totally got like Devil in Hiding vibes.
Little Anton LaVey too.
Yeah, because the whole, like, if you look up Bacchanalia, it's drunken revelry, but they also throw that orgy word in there too. Like, he really wants people just to have a good time.
There you go.
Have a good time with the grape feeder. Would you? I mean, would you let someone?
Where was this again?
London. Would you let somebody feed you grapes like that? Like hold them, dangle them over your head, and like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm all for this.
Boy, that position was filled very quickly too. They found somebody.
Every position would be filled.
It's not open yet. It'll be open soon, and
I bet
for people to have some fun. Okay, you ready for this last story?
I'm not sure.
All right, so I read the headline for the story. It's about the Gresham Lumberjack, which is a serial tree killer that's baffling an Oregon community. Now, when I first read that, I was like, "Oh, a serial killer? No, a serial tree killer."
Does he pee on trees?
Cuts them down.
Oh, cuts them down.
Yes. So there's a task force right now that's working to identify a person who is responsible for the damage of this wooded area near Portland. And this has been going on for a year.
It's a big tree.
A year. It's not just one tree.
Oh.
So they've spent months scouring thousands of photos. They've put up cameras trying to catch the person that they've coined the Gresham Lumberjack. Whoever this person is has gone into the woods. They cut down like 50 trees at a time. Amazing. With a hand saw. So there's no noise. And then they just leave them there.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. So somebody is going into, and just for no reason, cutting down 50 trees at a time with no noise.
Yes.
With a handsaw.
Yes, they're saying it looks like they're using a handsaw. Sometimes it's up to 50 trees, and that the trees over time have been getting bigger and bigger, and that they don't take the wood. So it's not like they're cutting it down to take it. And they said that there's trees as tall as 80 feet and as wide as 20 inches. And sometimes they're not even cut all the way through and they pose a danger. So they have to go in and clear the area, plant more trees, and fix it up. And this has been going on for over a year. It's cost the city over $250,000. And nobody has any idea. They did catch some pictures of a gentleman in all the different areas. Nobody knows who he is. They've shown the picture around. He's just a man with a backpack. So they have no idea why this guy's doing this or what's happening. They're just sawing the trees down and leaving it.
This guy has some wood heat. I mean, there's some definite problems.
Right.
Why? The point is the tree.
The Gresham Lumberjack.
Could have been some good paper someday.
Gresham Lumberjack, the serial tree killer.
The serial tree killer. Okay. I think that may be the most disturbing story I'll hear all day. But that has to be why today was weird.
It is.